YouTube family, what is up? So in this video, I'm going to tell you why you need to focus on getting rich first before you buy real estate. So I made a post. I created a video talking about, Grant Cardone, aka Uncle G. All right, Ben Mullen. Maybe I mispronounced his name. All right, Robert Kiyosaki. Every single one of them got rich by building their business first. They focus on the active income before they think about buying passive income. So a lot of you're getting this all wrong about, going out there trying to buy rental property, trying to get your passive income up, all right, where it's exceed your JOB income, and then you'll quit. That, my friend, is a 10, 20 to 30-year game plan. So if that's the game that you're planning to play, I promise you, you're not going to win, all right? So you need to understand the game. That's why a lot of you, man, you need to get educated or you're going to get eliminated, which means you're going to be stuck in the rat race. You're going to be stuck in the 9 to 5 until you're 65. And, when I post this video right here, if you guys haven't seen it. Rich first, then he went and bought real estate. Grant Cardone, a.k.a. Uncle G. He got rich first, then he went and bought real estate. Ben Mullen, and then, same thing. Got rich, and then let me read to you. Hold on a second. Jeez, I'm trying to pass. Okay, let me read to you one of the comments from the people that don't understand the game. They're just jippy jappy saying a bunch of shit, but they don't know anything about getting rich. Okay, because here's one of the comments. Now I don't understand. I don't know their entire story. I don't know Robert Kiyosaki the entire story. I don't know Uncle G entire story. I don't know Ben Mullen the entire story. What I do know is that I can almost guarantee you 1,000% is that they focus on their active income first. They focus on getting rich first before they start building wealth. Okay? And here's someone who commented this. Ben Mullen. Maybe I pronounced his name wrong. His last name is M-A-L-L-A-H. Somebody commented and said, Ben Mullen literally got rich off of real estate, laughed my ass off, and called me a fool. Dude, you guys don't understand what I'm trying to say, okay? He doesn't understand what I'm trying to say. Even if they start out as a real estate agent, all right? Agent, all right? That is still active income, okay? Most people also start out, fixing and flipping real estate. That is also active income. That is a business. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Real estate agent, that is still active income. Fix and flip, that is still a business. Real estate agent, that is still a business. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? I can almost guarantee you that he does not. Here's what I'm trying to say. Majority of the people are stuck at the J, O, the B, right? And they try to escape. And then what I'm saying is that then none of them, every millionaire, multi-millionaire that I know personally, every single one of them, man, got rich by building a business. They focus on their active income, okay? Not their passive income. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Okay? So Ben Mullen, dude, he got rich, all right? Maybe he did the whole fix and flip, okay? Or maybe he was a real estate agent. I don't know. But he did not get rich by working at a JO to B and then go out there and then start buying real estate. Nobody. Now, listen, even if you do, you cannot, as a regular person, all right, you're not going to make 10 to 20,000 a month net from your passive income, man, from the passive income within 1 to 2 years. That's what I'm saying. Because the whole passive income is a 10, 15, 20-year game plan. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? If you really look up all the people, every single one of them, man, got rich because they focused on their active income first. They all have a business. Okay? So, like, all of you need to understand that. And the reason why I want you to understand that is because so that way you're not like, hey, Kong, I got 20K saved up. I got $50,000 saved up. I'm still stuck at the J-O, the B, but I want to go buy real estate because I need to get my passive income up so I can quit. That is a 10, 20-year game plan. That's what I'm saying. If you want to make 10 to 20K in a month, I mean net, take home, you got to focus on building a business first. And I don't care what business that is. You need to focus on getting your active income up first, not passive income. Do you guys not understand that? Everybody understand this? Or are you guys still confused? Because a lot of people post on here, they're absolutely confused, man. Carlos said, hey, Kong, I'm watching your 3-day challenge, but couldn't find day 2. So for those of you who don't know what Carlos is talking about, Carlos, what you need to do, dude, is you need to sign up for the 3-day challenge. Go to WTM3day.com. Basically, it's a replay of a 3-day challenge that I did where I went deep dive into showing you how to find motivated seller in any city, any states, any zip code with this amazing software. All right. And then day number 2, I'm going to show you how to talk, negotiate, get the property in the contract. And then day number 3, I'm going to show you how to find the title company, how to get the cash buyer in any city. I mean, real cash buyer in any city, any states, so you can sell your wholesale deal to them. So for those of you, if you haven't got the 3-day sign up, go to WTM3day.com. It will blow you away. Brian, there's 2 persons that actually did the 3-day challenge and implement and took action. Closed his first deal for $18,000. $100 investment, made 18 G's. Okay. Do you create an offer formula during your cold call or before each call? So typically, Dennis, what you want to do, dude, is before you call to talk to the seller, man, you need to have at least a ballpark of what you want to offer the seller. So typically, you have to have that number ready to go. Hold on a second. Lon just text me as well. So basically, I would have that number ready. So make sure that before you call the seller, all right, to make the offer, you must have an offer ready for them. Okay? I can't pronounce your name here. I have a buyer. I need to find wholesaling. Yes. So for those of you who don't know what she's talking about, what you need to do is DM me. So DM me on Instagram. DM me with the word YouTube 3. I will send you that video that's going to help you do that. So YouTube 3. So DM me on Instagram because you can't DM here on Audrey. Okay, Audrey. So go ahead, Audrey. If you follow me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram. DM me the word YouTube 3. I'll send you that video where I'm going to show you how to find these wholesaler that already has a property in the contract, and all you need to do is connect them with the buyer. Okay. Sink said, how can I figure out ARV by knowing the tax assessed value? So Sink, the tax assessed value is typically, I would say 15 to 20% lower, but you don't want to use the tax assessed value as, your ARV. All right. So if you're having problem figuring out how do I find ARV or running comps or finding cash buyers, I highly suggest that because I did the video, I think it was 3 days ago where we went live. You definitely need to check that video out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that video in the descriptions after I'm done with the live. Go check it out. Because after watching that video, you will know how to pull comps, how to figure out the ARV. But most importantly, in that video, for those of you who didn't see that, who weren't on the live training, I picked 3 winners and we pull cash buyers for you right in front of your eyes. Over 100 real cash buyer right in front of your eyes. If that video gets 150 likes, which is not much. If it gets 150 likes, I'm going to bring Jenna on and we're going to do it again where we're going to pick out 3 winners. Basically, we literally showing you the software on how to really get real cash buyer in any city, any state, any zip code. And then I pick 3 winners. We pull the cash buyer list, we skip trace, and we send it to them. All right. So I'll make sure I put that video on the bottom too in the descriptions. John Pham said, I just joined your academy. Can't wait. Let's go get this money. John, dude, I am so excited, dude, to spend the next 5 months with you in the academy. So I don't know if you choose the 5 months or the 1 year, but bro, we got 2 students that just recently closed their first deal, one for $7,800, the other one for $7,500. All right. Now, it's not a big, huge number, but I can tell you guys right now, that first deal is always the hardest. And once you get that, it's almost rinse and repeat. And now they know that they can do it again and again and again and again. And once you have that knowledge and that skills, you can take me and put me in any city, any states, and within 30 days, I'll be able to get a prop in a contract and get that thing sold. Okay. Any other questions? Let me go here. Sink said, when on deals for me now, when sourcing for property and the owner is the street name LLC, or if it's, say, a type of bank or institution owns, do we pass on the property even if sales score is high? Well, it depends. Are you you're looking for homeowner or are you looking for cash buyer? So typically, if you're looking for homeowner, we typically don't want to target LLC, right? Which means they're investors. All right. So the chance of them selling it now, I'm not saying that there's no investor that gets into a situation. There are plenty of investor out there that gets into a problem where they will to sell it at a discount. But typically, that's not the people that we would target when we talk about motivated seller. So I would get rid of all the LLC, get rid of all the, just focus on individual, like a person's name. When you're looking for motivated seller, when you're looking for cash buyers, then I would target LLC, right? Those are investors. And I'll make sure I'll leave all those videos right below getting motivated seller. But I think the best is join the 3-day challenge where we actually walk you through it. Tyler said, how do you do inspection on all property, even out of state? So Tyler, we don't do the inspection. Your buyers do the inspection. So once you got a property in a contract, right, you blast it out to your buyers, and then your buyer will actually do the walkthrough and do the inspection on the property. So you don't have to. All right. So it's not like every property we lock up in a contract. We don't hire a home inspector to go out there and inspect the property. We lock it on the contract based on the information, right, of what needed to be done. We blast it out to our buyers. And then a buyer said, hey, I'm interested in a property. We set up a showing. And then they go out there, they inspect the property, and then they'll let us know, hey, your number was off, or hey, it looks good, I'm ready to close. Okay, so your buyer's the one that's going to inspect the property for you. Okay, Audrey said another question. I saw all your 3 video. When we call seller, if they ask from what company we work for, what do we say? So Audrey, if you don't have a company set up, like it could be a Facebook page, right? It's not like you have to have an LLC set up. It could be a Facebook page, right? Some social media present or a website. All right. For those of you, or a website that just say your company name. Now, if you don't have a company, typically I would just say, hey, my name is Audrey. I work with a group of investors. So instead of saying, hey, I work for a company, just say I work with a group of investors. Okay, so that's number 1. I know that we say we work with a group of investor, but what if they feel insecure? So Audrey, honestly, when a seller feels insecure, it's basically because you're not providing with the confidence and you're not answering their question properly. That's all it is, right? Once you're on the phone, you know how to overcome their objections, and you can say with confidence, right? They're just afraid that they'll get scammed. And if you don't give off that vibe or that energy, you should be fine. Just say, hey, you know what? I work with a group of investors. We buy property all around this city here. Want to know if you're interested in getting a cash offer or selling your property to a cash buyer. That's it, right? And if you try to provide, if they ask for this, then that's probably not the seller that you want to work with, okay? They're a little bit tough, okay? But most motivated seller, Audrey, they typically don't ask you for proof of funds. They don't ask you for none of those stuff. Okay, they're just ready to sell. And if they can trust, if you can get them to trust you on the phone, which is, you got to be confident in what you're saying. and then overcome all the objections, and you should be good to go. Swag said, do you assign property over by being a cash buyer? I don't even know what you're saying here. Do you assign property over by being a cash buyer? I don't know what you're saying here. So typically you get a property in a contract, okay, bro? So typically you would get a property in a contract. Let's just say for $100,000, okay? Once you found the buyer, all you're gonna do is, let's just say this is your cash buyer, okay? So you had a purchase and sell agreement with the seller, and once you found the buyer, you're gonna sign the contract, and the buyer will sign, man, what's called an assignment agreement. So they don't sign a purchase and sell contract. They will sign an assignment agreement, which means they're going to take over the positions of buying the property, let's just say for $120. So they're going to come into closing with $120. Out of that, $100 is going to go to the seller, and then $20K will go to you. And the title company will be responsible to get all of that done. So it's not something you have to worry about. Okay? Meaning if someone wants to assign you a property, then you will turn and assign that property to a new prop. Oh my God, man. Meaning if someone assign you, okay. So you're saying basically, here's what you're saying, man. You're saying, and this is what people call daisy chain. And tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But your question is confusing, but I think I understand what you're saying. So you're saying, let's just say that this is a wholesaler, okay? And that wholesaler got this property under contract. Okay, let's just say this wholesaler, and it's not you, got this property under contract for, once again, $100,000. And then you connect with that wholesaler. This is you, all right? And then this wholesaler, you're saying that, hey, now this wholesaler will assign the deal over to you for $120, okay? So which means you're going to sign an assignment agreement to take it over, but in that assignment agreement, it must allow you to assign it. If the wholesaler does not put in the agreement that you can assign it, then you're stuck. Well, it's not like you're stuck, but which means that you are actually going to be the buyer. So you're telling me that now you want to find a buyer. Let's just say you already got a buyer, but you don't want to split. You don't want to do a JV deal because maybe you want to keep more of the money. All right. So which means you're going to say, hey, so which means you're telling this wholesaler that you're the buyer, and they're going to sign the deal to you for $120. And then you actually going to go and assign it over to this buyer for, let's just say, $160, because you know your buyer willing to pay that much more. Is that what you're saying? And yes, this can be done, and it happens every single day. So yes, that wholesaler can assign the contract to you. You can then assign it to your end buyer. So instead of, let's just say, instead of you wanted to split, right, the JV deal, instead of you wanted to split with this wholesaler, because this wholesaler got on a contract for $100,000, he only wants to make $20,000. So you know that you can sell it over and make $40K instead of splitting, and then you guys each get $30K. Make sense? This is what we call daisy chain. Okay? Daisy chain, that's correct, Anthony. So, okay, I hope I answered your question correctly. Kong, if you don't want the seller and buyer to meet face-to-face, who is going to host the showing for the buyer if you're not at state? Dude, all of these are good questions, all right? Especially for those of you who wants to do it virtually. I've been wholesaling, man, virtually for the past 6 years. We don't meet the seller. We don't see the property. That's why Lon and I are able to travel wherever we want, and we can stay there as long as we want. And all of our employees are from the Philippines, and they're closing deal completely overseas. And this is how it worked, man. So you got to understand that the buyer and the seller will have to meet. So here's how it works. Once again, for those of you who's watching, if this video add a lot of value to you and you're like, Kong, I love these Q&A session, boom, then smash the thumbs up. All right, if you're new to the family, be sure to, boom, smash that subscribe button. The reason I ask that, and I don't want to go live too much, is because, I see that going live, doing a Q&A, a lot of you don't get it just doesn't get a lot of views. So to me, when it doesn't get a lot of view, it just means that, people are not interested in the subject or the topic. So make sure if you do, boom, smash the thumbs up. Okay. So basically, here's what's going to happen, man. Okay. So you get the seller. Okay. You get the seller. Okay. And then the property. Okay. And then you got the buyer. Okay. So, dude, buyers needs to go out to see the property. And let's just say you don't live in the States. So buyer, typically they would want to inspect the property. Seller is going to be there, right? So if they live in the property, they're probably going to be there. All right. So buyer wants to go out to see the property. Buyer and seller will meet. They will meet. But what you need to do is you need to hire a person. I call them the facilitator. So their job is to facilitate the showing on behalf of your company. But this is the most important thing that you need to understand. So number one is you need to prep the seller up. You need to tell the seller, hey, my contractor or my contractor is going to be there to inspect the property. They typically get in, get out very quickly. Just let them do their thing. All right. And then you want to prep your buyer up and let your buyer know that, hey, you're out there on behalf of our company as a contractor to inspect the property. Please keep it professional. And we're going to have Ben, right? Let's just say Ben is your facilitator. And you need to let the seller know, man, everybody that's going to show up, let the seller know. You don't want to hide it, all right? And don't have it be a surprise. If it's a surprise, dude, you're going to scare the seller. Remember, all the seller care about is they want to get this thing done and get that money. That's it. So there's no reason why you should be afraid. You should say, hey, Ben is going to be there, and then our contractor, Bob, is going to be there. All right? Typically, it's going to be a 15, 20 minutes, boom, and then they're in and they're out. And you just need to prep your buyer up, dude. Get on the phone. Let them know, hey, please be professionals. You can inspect the property, look at anything you want, but please don't discuss pricing with our seller. Our facilitator, Ben, is going to be there to facilitate the showing, making sure everything is going smoothly. And if you have issue with the property or the pricing, please discuss that with us after you're done. But I would just want to let you know that after we got another one that is set up, right? We got another showing or another inspection set up. The reason why you want to say that is because you want this buyer to know that you got more people that's interested in on the property. And I don't care if you don't have anybody after him or her. Always say that. Fear of loss. You got to play that game, man. So my whole thing is, dude, learn to play the game or be played by the game. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Just get better at it. Make sense? And a lot of you will be like, well, Kong, how can I find that foot on the ground, the facilitator? Dude, other wholesaler, realtor, all right, other investors. So typically, the local RIA, any social media platform, Facebook group, all right. I mean, we have a lot of students inside of our academy that actually work with each other. They would go out there. Then typically, dude, it shouldn't take more than 1 hour. And typically, I pay my facilitator between $75 to $100. I mean, who makes $75 to $100 an hour? So for them to go out there and boom, for an hour, they get $100. They'll be like, bam, let's go, baby, all day long. All right. But start building relationship and building your team virtually, all right? Have foot on the ground with other wholesaler, realtor, agent, etc. Okay, Sherlock said, when you have a closing date, do you get paid the same day? It depends. Okay, and let me show you. Okay, it depends. And here's what I mean by it depends. But yes, technically, you get paid the same day, which means if you live out of the States and you want to get a cashier check, right? Typically, the title company will send you a cashier check. That will take between like a day, right? A day or two for you to get it in the mail after you close. Now, if you want it to be a wire transfer, you get wire transfer, then all wire must be done before 1 p.m. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 p.m. In my area, it's 2 p.m. So the wire must be sent out before 2 p.m. for you to receive it same day. But it also depends on, if you're closing on the East Coast, West Coast, all that take in consideration. Now, obviously, if you live in the same states, typically they close on it. Typically takes them about an hour. Once it goes to recording, right? They will say, hey, it's going to go down to the county. We're going to get a record. Once they got a recording number, that's when you know everything is final. Once they say, hey, we got the recording number, we're ready to record it, and bam, if you live in the same states, they can get you a cashier check. You can go down there and pick it up. XO said, I just hired my VA. Can you tell me exactly what you would have them do? Oh my gosh. So you're telling me that you hire a VA from the video that I just showed you about co-wholesaling? I highly recommend, for those of you, check this out. For those of you who haven't seen that video, I'll leave it in the description. So here's what I was talking about having a VA do. So right now, we make an extra. So last month, we made $20,000 last month, all right, just from co-wholesaling or called JV deal. And literally, I have a VA that all she does, all she does every day is she find other wholesaler that already has a property under contract, and then we connect them with our buyer. And last month we did $20K, no marketing costs, no talking to seller. It was easy. Okay, so you can literally hire a VA, pay them between $3 to $5 an hour, and have them do just this, just that. Because in wholesaling, the hardest part is finding the seller, negotiate, talking to them, and all of that. But if you already have someone that did have the work, all you need to do is find the cash buyer. So I'm going to leave that link down below where I would literally break down, show you exactly how to co-wholesale without you doing anything. Just have the VA do it and then train the VA. Okay, what other question we got here? Whew. Sink said, when you say marketing, what exactly do you mean? You know, sending letters, sending postcards, you know, doing bandit sign, you know, cold calling, SMS. All of those are marketing channel, right? For you to find motivated seller. So that's what I mean by marketing. You know, maybe paying for PPC, paying for SEO, hire, you know, those guys to run those for you, right? Those are costs that I don't have to pay any of that, because I don't need to get the seller. I'm just finding co-wholesaler, but all of them are on social media. Anyways, I'm going to put that video down below, especially for those of you who's like, Colin, dude, I'm interested in this. Best video. I'll leave the link below. There's so many. What else? What other question you guys got? How many? Okay, we're 20 minutes, 7 minutes in. XO again, I got someone from Fiverr for 30 a day, and I get 5 hours. That's it. Right there, baby. 5 hours. That's all they do for you. You just need to show them what to do. And once again, I'll leave that link right below. What other questions? What other question? I have to go up now. Oh, this might be a good question for Audrey here. One more question. Sorry. I got confused a little. How do you calculate my profit? And to take the 30% from 100, then 30%. All right, so Audrey, here you go. So basically, Audrey, you're saying, so here's the wholesaling formula. So it's ARV, which is after repair value. What is the property worth after it's in perfect condition? So let's just say if it's 100,000, and you automatically takes 30% off, because that's what the investor wants discount, right? That's how much they want to make on their money. But it also depends on what market you're in. Like in Seattle, you don't need 30%. You know, 15%. Like the investor would be happy just making 15% on their money. So it's either you're in hot market or not a hot market. So if you're in a hot market, which means you can offer the seller more, then you minus the repair, whatever it costs to repair. So 100,000 minus 30%, we're at 70K. Let's just say it costs another 10,000 to repair. Now we're at 60K. So this is what the investor would buy, Audrey. All right, at 60,000, and anything you get under is your profit. So if you lock it up on a contract for 50,000, that's a $10,000 wholesale fee, and that is your profit. Hope that makes sense. I know I'm going really fast because most of this are just like saying again and again. What about New York? Audrey, I think New York, maybe 20%. I would say in New York, 20%. Hold on a second. Let me move this really quick here. Any other questions? Okay, Tyler said, does the title company need a business name for you, for your part in the final signing? No. So Tyler, you're not signing anything, dude. The only thing you're signing is the assignment agreement. You don't sign the purchase and sale. I'm sorry. You don't sign any closing doc. As a wholesaler, you don't sign anything. All you're signing is the assignment agreement, and that is it. So it doesn't matter if you have an LLC. It doesn't matter if it's in your personal name. You can wholesale in your personal name. You don't need an LLC. The reason why you want to create an LLC, man, is just to be protected. That's all. Right? Just so you're protected. And it looks more legit, right? But that's pretty much it. Okay, let me see if any other questions you guys got. But does anybody under this? Okay, Joe, have a question here. How many market should we be pulling lists from? Joe, this is a good question, man. So Joe, if I were you, dude, I would focus on your own market. And depending on how big of a list you want to target, depending on how much money you can spend on marketing. All right, skip tracing, text blasts, all of that costs money. So when you ask me how big of a list or should you pull, I would focus in first your city, then your county, and then your entire states. If you target the entire states, dude, that's a pretty big dang list, bro. And you should have no problem. A lot of you, listen, you should focus on your own backyard. Until you can wholesale in your sleep, until you're as good as me, you can wholesale in your sleep, you got a team, then think about going in different cities, different states. But you want to focus on going deep instead of going wide, especially when you're first starting out. You want to pick one, bro, all right? And you just want to farm that thing, bro, okay? But, dude, if I can make 100,000 just in my states and one more states, dude, 100,000 a month, you should be able to make at least 50K to 100K, no problem, man, just in one state. No problem. You don't have to be in multiple states to make 6-figure a month. You don't have to. Let me see here. Okay. What recommendation do you have for someone working in LA, Orange County area? Stay away from Orange County. Too many Asian there. You're not going to get any deals. All right. So stay away from the Asian community. Prices are so high. It seems like there's little options out there. Oscar, here's what I recommend you to do, Oscar. Link is in my descriptions, where I literally walk you through this software, what market to pick, all right, to find motivated seller. So in California or in any states, you want to stay away from anything that are like 800,000 to $1 million plus, man. You want to focus on the bread and butter. Go find, there should be city in California like Bakersfield. And there's probably many other ones. You want to focus on between ARV between 150K to like 500K, man. Maybe 600K in California, something like that. But don't focus on the $1 million home, man. 150 to 500,000, dude. Find a city in California and then just focus on that particular one. Make sense? Okay, XO said last questions. I hope so. I bought on some commissions only sales rep that will call the buyer's list from deal for me now. Great. What percentage should I give them off my commission? Ooh, well, this is how you negotiate, my friend. If they're in sales, I want to know how good they are in sales, because typically when a person in sales, you know, whoever mentioned a number first loses, correct? So typically when I bring someone on, I would ask them, what do they want to get paid? Ask them. You already have a number. Typically, I would say 10%, right? That's what I would say, between 10 to 20%, depending on, I would start out with 10%, depending on how long they work for. And then that obviously, it will increase to 20%, right? But I always ask, dude, because you might think 10%, they might be okay with 5%. You never know. So on a $10,000 wholesale fee, let's just see here. Hold on a second. 10,000. I'm Asian, but I'm not good with math. 5%, they get $500. 10%, they get $1,000. Right? So I would say, in my personal experience and opinion, I would say between 10 to 20%, depending on how good that person is. Okay? But one, I always ask them. And here's why you always want to ask your employee. Even if you give them bonus, give them raise, here's why you ask. So let's just say if you ask me, all right, and I'll be like, I mean, our average is $20,000 wholesale deal. How much would you want to make off of that, right? And I'll be like, dude, I'm cool with 5%. You'll be like, okay, 5%, no problem, right? And then what happened is once they close the deal, you'll be like, you know what? With all the hard work, instead of doing 5%, I want to do more for you. Let's go ahead and do 10%. Now you become like this freaking hero. You become like this, dude, this guy, I asked for 5% and he's going to give me 10%. He just gave me 5% more. Dude, they're going to work with you. Dude, they're going to be loyal. Make sense? It's like, dude, it's like I don't know if I'm using the right word, but they asked for 5%. You out of nowhere, you gave them more than what they asked for. Dude, they'll be loyal. Make sense? So always ask. Like you already know what you're willing to pay, but it's best to ask. So that way, if you do end up doing more, they put you on this pedestal. You'd be like, damn, this guy, yeah, I want to work with him or her. Make sense? Swag said, how would you know how much taxes will be taken out after deals are finalized? So typically, dude, they don't take the taxes out, bro. So with wholesaling, dude, they don't take the taxes out. If you're going to make $20,000 on that deal, dude, the title company is going to cut you a $20,000 check. But typically, you would have to pay Uncle Sam, at the end of the year, you would have to pay him roughly about 25%. Give or take. All right. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accounting, but about 25%. So it's not so title company will, whatever you assign, they'll give you the full amount. But at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, just know, depending on your income, where you're at, but just know that typically I would say just be 25 to 30%, Uncle Sam. Okay, let me see what other questions you guys got here, man. Joe said, I have $1,000 in budget for marketing. What kind of marketing should I do with that amount for those of us who have some money to spend on marketing? Joe, good question, man. So honestly, dude, with that kind of money, man, I honestly think that you should just use the $1,000, right? Use the $1,000 to continue paying for that software, which costs you about $97 a month. And then now it's going to get, now you need money on skip tracing. And then the next, dude, I would just cold call, because cold calling is, free, right? You can just punch from your number, right? From your phone. Because if you start to do SMS, bro, that 1,000 is going to go, dude, that 1,000 is going to go really quick, man. So if you only have $1,000 budget to spend marketing per month, I would just focus on make sure that you can get that software, skip trace. For those of you who don't know what skip tracing to use, go to Skip and Flip, the most accurate and the most affordable skip tracing that we just launched, called skipandflip.com. Okay, so you can skip and then cold call. If I were you, Joe, that's exactly what I would do to maximize that $1,000. Okay, because you're gonna need, right, that money really for skip tracing. And then you can also now leverage, maybe hire AVA if you wanted to for cold calling. It's up to you. But SMS, dude, those can eat up your those can eat up your money really quick if you only have $1,000. Make sense? Okay, what other question you guys got? Any other questions? for those of you, I've been mentioning this software. If you haven't watched the tutorial on this, on how powerful this software is, because imagine this. Imagine if you're able, see the biggest thing, here's the two most important thing when it comes to becoming a successful wholesaler. Let me share this with you, okay? This is what separates between the success, like you're going to make it or not. Number one is the most important, man. Negotiation. That's absolutely number one. Like, dude, that's the number one if you want to be successful wholesaler. Is you got to be good on the phone. Okay. Number two, it all comes down to is data. Getting good, accurate data. All right. So the software that I've been talking about so far, within the last 60 days, we got 1,000 sign up already. And there's still plenty of you that haven't got exposure to. Because imagine if a software that uses AI, artificial intelligence, that can tell you 90 days in advance before anyone would get in trouble. Pre-foreclosure, tax delinquents, all right, probate, divorce, 90 days before that seller get into a financial situation, so you can target them 90 days. It happens 90 days before any other investors can get to them. That is power. That is how you have upper advantage. So for those of you, if you want to know that software, it's called Deals For Me Now. I'm going to post it right here. It's called dealsformenow.com right there. So once you sign up, they charge $97 a month, okay? $97 a month. But let me tell you this, all right? They created 5 videos. So once you sign up for their software, they created 5 videos. Those 5 videos, they will show you how to use the software, how to look at the AI and know who will be in that situation. They'll show you how to pull the motivated seller. They'll show you how to pull the cash buyer from their software. So it's important that you check out those videos in case for those of you who are not tech savvy like me. I'm not tech savvy at all. What other questions? Okay, going once. I don't see any other one that, oh my God. Maybe mine just slow popping up here. John said, what's the site again? I don't know what site you're talking about, John, but maybe you are talking about dealsformenow.com website. And once again, I will link all the video that I talk about down in the description. It's a tutorial video that I highly recommend those of you who wants to, make $20,000 a month JVing deals with people. You want to know how to get cash buyer instantly. I'll put that video on the bottom. And you want to know how to get motivated distressed property. Any city, any state, any zip code, step by step. I'll leave it all in the descriptions. All right, that's all the time I got. I appreciate each and every single one of you here. Once again, I hope this video added enough value to you. Enough value where you'll be like, Kong, boom, smash that thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Any other questions, drop it down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Until next time, you guys, take care, and let's go get this money. I'm out.